Make way for Guinea Pig Lane.
Guinea Pig Lane? Sounds like a quaint old English street.
That's what everybody in school's calling me. You know that substitute teacher we have in American history, Miss McIntosh?
Yes?
Well, she finally got to me. She kept yakking about how spoiled kids are today and how tough the pioneer kids had to be in the old days. And I said I wouldn't have minded living in those days. And she said I wouldn't have lasted a week. And I said it would have been a ball. And I told her I could go for a whole week without using any of the modern civilized conveniences. And she said I couldn't.
I'm on her side.
The whole school is talking about it.
You mean you're supposed to live like a pioneer for a week?
If they did it, I can do it.
Times have changed, Patty.
Or maybe times have changed, but kids haven't. I don't believe we're weaklings, and I'm going to prove it. I've got to uphold the honor of my generation.
Boy, is your generation in trouble. Come to think of it, so's mine.
When do you start?
I've already started. Hello? Hi, Rich. Listen, Rich, this is very important. Do you remember last week when we went downtown to get those things for school? Yeah. What? I think you'd better hang up. Why? Because the telephone hasn't been invented yet.
Oh.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Patty, what exactly did you tell your teacher?
I told her that I could go for a week without using anything we didn't have back in 1800.
Do you have any idea what you're letting yourself in for?
Pablo, I've got to prove that kids today aren't soft.
Except in the head.
Can't we put him up for adoption?
Who'd have me?
You've got a point. Patty, aren't you going to use any modern conveniences at all? If it wasn't invented by 1800, forget it.
And you've agreed to do this for a whole week?
That's right. I'm out to prove that Miss McIntosh is wrong. Look, if I should slip up now and then, I want all of you to remind me.
Oh, we'll remind you.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you the big news. Coach Edwards has practically picked me to be cheerleader captain at the big track meet next Saturday. Every girl in school was after it.
Congratulations.
Well, I better get dressed. Richard is taking me to a dance tonight. They had dancing back in 1800. I checked. Patty? Yeah? Are you going to bathe before you dress? Of course. They did take baths in those days. Not with hot running water, they didn't.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I never knew water could be so heavy. No wonder they only took baths on Saturday nights.
How does she get herself into these crazy situations?
I don't think it's so crazy, Ross. I'm on Patty's side. I like what she's trying to prove.
You know what I think? I think she's going to set us back 100 years.
How was your bath? The Eskimos. By the time I put the last bucket of hot water into the tub, it was ice cold. Boy. What do you think you're doing? Putting you back in the 19th century. Oh. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. How am I going to dry my hair? Why don't you rub 2 sticks together and start a fire? That's what the pioneers did. Yeah? Well, they should have used hair dryers. At least they wouldn't have gotten scalped that way. I'd better get dressed. Richard's picking me up in a... What happened to the lights? Thomas Edison hasn't invented them yet, so I turned them off. Oh! Oh, boy. Here. Here what? Am I supposed to get dressed by that? Your great-great-grandmother did. Oh, yeah, but have you ever seen pictures of how she looked? Me and my big mouth.
Oh, that's an interesting hat.
I couldn't get my hair done. Here. Oh, there's my Lord and Master.
You know, that Bela Lugosi is the greatest.
Hi, Rich.
Never mind the high rich. You know you hung up on me this afternoon?
Yeah, sorry about that. I can't talk on the telephone for a whole week.
You can't? Why not?
It hasn't been invented yet.
What?
Look, it's a long story. Come on in and say hello to the old folks at home.
Hasn't been invented yet. Now, wait a minute. Oh, hello, Mrs. Lane. Mr. Lane?
Hello, Richard.
Richard?
Well, let's go.
He has all the social graces, hasn't he?
Patty, Tootie Henderson's band starts playing at 8 o'clock. I don't want to miss any of it. We'll have just enough time to make the first number.
Where is that dance, Richard?
Over at Danceland.
It's about 3 miles from here, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've got my car outside.
Oh.
I forgot.
You forgot what?
Automobiles. I'm afraid your car's going to have to stay right where it is, Richard.
How are we going to get to the dance? Walk?
He asked you a question, dear.
Yeah. Richard, my boy, hasn't it occurred to you that people don't get enough exercise these days?
Sure. That's why we're going dancing.
Mom.
Would you mind walking?
Walking 3 miles to a dance? Is it because you don't want her to ride with me? My driving's improved a lot, Mrs. Lane. I haven't had an accident since Monday, and it was nothing. I mean, I got a scratched running board, but it wasn't my fault.
Your car has a running board? What are you driving, Richard?
An Essex.
An Essex.
If you're worried, I could spring for a taxi cab.
Richard, Patty can't ride in any vehicle this week.
Except a covered wagon.
Oh, what? You mean like an automobile hasn't even been invented yet or something? No, wait a minute. First the telephone.
Come on, Richard, I'll explain on the way. Say goodnight to the nice people.
Patty, if you think I'm going to walk 3 miles to a dance,
You're you.
a lazy one.
You want to come in, Rich?
This has been one of the most interesting evenings of my whole life.
I'm sorry about the way things turned out, Rich.
I didn't mind walking 3 miles to Danceland, but the 10 miles back... Patty, why do we have to leave when we got there?
I told you because they were using microphones
And pioneers didn't have microphones.
Yeah. Now you want me to do this right, don't you?
Sure, but without me. I'll see you next week when you come out of orbit and return to our time zone. You know, sometimes I think you really are an escaped Martian.
Sorry, Rich.
Oh, forget it. And I mean forget it.
Rich. Good night.
Good night. And watch out for the wild Indians.
Is that you, Patty?
Mm-hmm. Hi, Mama. Papa.
How are you, hon?
How was the dance?
How do you spell fiasco?
Hey, that's a pretty good word.
Please, no coaching unless it's my turn.
Sorry about that. You know, I never should have dragged Richard into this. He's not up to it.
Are you?
If the pioneers could do it all their lives, I guess I can do it for 1 week. Oh, they must have been made of steel.
Well, they were pretty rugged, but then they had to be. You know, it's amazing what you can do if you have to.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Papa. I'd hate to let the kids at school down. They're all counting on me.
You won't let them down. I think you're doing just fine.
Yeah. Except I'm starving to death.
Oh, didn't you stop at the shake shop?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we stopped. Only I couldn't eat anything. They cooked their hamburgers on electric grills. And the pioneers never heard of a chocolate milkshake.
Oh. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to fix you a great big Pioneer sandwich, handmade, and a big glass of milk, cow-made.
Thanks, Papa. Boy, they sure were losers, our ancestors. They didn't have anything.
I'll tell you one thing they had. A wonderful, great, great, great granddaughter.
One of us in this room is the murderer, and I'll tell you who it is. It's...
I'm sorry you're not going to the movies with us, Patty. Yeah, so am I. I've been dying to see the monster with 3 heads. We'll tell you all about it. Oh, you don't have to. It's my autobiography. Good night. Night.
Hi, Kathy. Pioneer lady, you sure you don't want to go skating? I bet they ice skated.
In the middle of a heat wave?
Okay, see ya.
Have fun.
If you're going ice skating, put on a heavier sweater.
Got one on already.
We're leaving, darling.
You sure you don't want to go to that jazz concert with us?
I'd love to. But it'd be cheating. I don't think the pioneers went to jazz concerts.
You know, we're really proud of the way you're sticking to this, honey.
Oh, there's nothing to it. You know, a lot of kids would get bitter about having to take icy baths and walk everywhere and not watch television or use electric lights or telephones or go to movies or jazz concerts. A lot of kids.
But not you.
No.
That's wonderful, darling. We'll be back early.
Rickety rap, who's that racing down the track? Brooklyn, yeah! Brooklyn, yeah!
She's been carrying on like that all evening.
The big track meet is Saturday.
What just
You mean we have to listen to that until Saturday?
fire? We're on fire! What about that one?
Noisy.
Papa, yells are supposed to be noisy. It's up to me to give inspiration to the team. Being captain of the cheerleaders is a very big responsibility.
Are you definitely captain?
Well, practically, definitely. It's between me and Alice, and actually, she doesn't have a chance, poor kid. She has a voice somewhere between Ema Sumac and Louis Armstrong. Watch our team on the beam. Shake 'em, break 'em, show 'em how to take 'em. Rah! Brooklyn!
That definitely should inspire the old team. Martin, what do you think? Patty, how is Project Pioneer coming along?
Oh, that. Great. I only have a few more days to go. You know, it's been fun, in a gruesome sort of way. I gotta go. Richard and I are going for a walk in the park. Oh, come home! Hey, you take care of that.
She's lucky it's not the hunting season.
What do you have, Kathy?
Sammy, I think I'll have a cheeseburger and a chocolate milkshake. I'll have a peanut butter and Dayton nut bread and a banana split.
I'll have the same.
Oh, good.
I'll have a cheeseburger, a chocolate milkshake, peanut butter and Dayton nut bread, and a banana split.
Another year with you, Richard, and we can all retire. What do you have, Patty?
Glass of water, no ice. How long are you going to keep this up, Patty? Until I drop dead or Monday, whichever comes first. Well, I certainly admire you. Oh, you can afford to. You're eating a peanut butter sandwich on date nut bread and a banana split. They did eat in 1800, you know. Yeah, but the peanut butter didn't come in jars and the bread wasn't baked by machines. Can't talk about it. I get all choked up. Hi, Kathy. Hello, Alice. Patty. Hi, Alice. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Alice.
Hi, Maggie. Hi. What are you having? Order something gooey. I enjoy hearing it. Oh, I'm too excited to eat.
Why? What happened?
Oh, guess who's the new captain of the cheerleaders at the track meet next Saturday? I'd have to guess. I am. Oh, not anymore, you're not. Coach Edwards just made me captain. He couldn't have. He practically promised it to me. Oh, did he? A little bird must have told him that you're living in the dark ages and didn't have a way to the track meet Saturday. That wasn't a little bird. That was a little rat. Waiter, some cheese for my little friend here.
Yes, Patty, but
You just can't let Alice be captain. I know all the yells.
Yes, Patty,
And I
but-
was captain last year.
Yes, Patty, but-
All the kids are counting on me.
Yes, Patty, but... Aren't you going to interrupt me?
Of course not. Go on, sir.
Well,
It's just not fair. It just isn't fair.
I should have stayed with yes, Patty, but...
I'm sorry. But just give me one good reason. Why? Why? When I was captain last year and...
Now, I understand that you've entered into a bargain with Miss McIntosh, your history teacher. Is that right?
Yes, sir. But that didn't include not being captain of the cheerleaders.
But you agreed not to use any mode of transportation not in use by 1800, right?
Yes, sir.
Patty, do you know how far it is from Brooklyn Heights High to the stadium where that track meet is being held?
Not exactly.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. It is 22 miles.
Is that all?
No, that is not all. If you're returning, it's 44 miles.
I thought it was more than that.
Now, when does your agreement with Miss McIntosh end?
This Monday.
Now, the track meet is this Saturday. You're going to have to make a choice, Patty. Do you want to get out of this thing with Miss McIntosh?
No, sir. I've suffered this long. I'm going to finish it.
Well, then you can see my problem. Obviously, you can't be to that track before noon on Saturday unless you use a bus or a car or a train.
Coach Edwards,
Huh?
if I'm on that field by 12 noon Saturday, will you let me be captain of the cheerleaders?
Patty, if you can keep your bargain with Miss McIntosh and still be at that field at noon on Saturday, you can have my job.
That won't be necessary, but thanks. See you on the field Saturday.
Yeah,
You know, I was thinking, Saturdays don't come around that often. Why don't we all take a drive up into the country today?
Oh, I'm sure Patty can't go with us. In the first place, she's not riding in anything this week, and in the second place, today is the day of the big track meet.
Oh, I forgot. She's captain of the yelling team.
They call it cheerleaders.
They can call it what they want, and I'll call it what I want.
There's no problem. Patty isn't going to be the captain.
I thought Coach Edwards said she could be.
Only if she got out there by noon. Kathy told me the field is 22 miles away.
22 miles away? Where is Patty?
Upstairs asleep.
It's after 9 o'clock. She couldn't make it out there now unless she ran all the way. Oh, hi, Kath.
Good morning, Uncle Martin, Aunt Natalie, Ross.
Good morning, Kathy.
Morning, Kathy.
When I got up this morning, I found this on Patty's bed. It says, please don't worry about me. Henry is taking me to the track meet. We'll be back late. It's signed, Captain of the Cheerleaders, almost.
When did she leave?
I don't know. When I woke up, she was gone.
I've been up for hours and I didn't see her. Martin, she must have left in the middle of the night.
You don't think that she'd be crazy enough to try to walk that 22 miles out to the field?
And 22 miles back? That's 44 miles. That's impossible.
Well, of course, it's been an impossible week. You know, frankly, I never thought she'd stick to that agreement she made, but she did. Well, I suppose if she could go back 165 years, she can walk 44 miles. 44 miles?
Oh, Martin, she'll be dead when she gets home.
You know, maybe I'll take a little drive out there. Well, you know, in case she'd like a lift back. Well, I mean, 44 miles.
If I know Patty, Uncle Martin, she's not going to want a lift back.
Yeah, she's stubborn. She'll crawl first.
I don't know how the rest of you feel about this whole idiotic thing, but I'm so proud of her I could just burst.
You know, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd write an editorial about her. Maybe I will anyway.
Why don't we have a surprise for her when she gets back?
What kind of surprise?
Oh, I don't know, a victory celebration?
See, that's a wonderful idea. I'll barbecue some steaks.
I'll bake some bread.
I'll put up some lanterns.
I'll get a pan of hot water so she can soak her feet.
You know, that's the best suggestion yet, Ross. She's going to be in terrible shape when she gets back here. See, I have a wonderful idea. Why don't we set up a couch on the patio, and then she can lie down and eat her dinner?
Hey, Dad, what time's Patty gonna get here?
What?
I said, what time is Patty gonna get here? I figure I wouldn't put the hot water into it until she got here.
Oh, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not going to start that fire for a couple of hours yet. So I figure she's going to walk around 3.5, 4 miles an hour, maybe 5, 22 miles. She's got to rest a little on the way. Or she'll be here between 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you should have been there, Papa. We won everything. The 100-yard dash, the 50-yard dash, the broad jumps, the hurdles, everything. Oh, boy, I wish you were there. Even you, Ross.
Honey, you just came from the track meet?
Yeah, I was a clean sweep.
You mean you walked all the way out there and...
Walked? No, I never could have made it in time. Henry gave me a lift out and brought me back. That's exactly what I would have done, Patty.
Yeah, me too, sis.
Well, actually, it was very wise of you, dear.
Yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, I guess it was a kind of a silly agreement anyway.
I don't understand what you're all talking about.
Oh, about your giving up your Pioneer Week agreement with Miss McIntosh.
Well, if Henry gave you a lift out, I think maybe you all better meet Henry. Henry, say hello to the group.
Hello, darling.
Oh, hi. Sounds like Patty's having a little party. I don't blame her. She's entitled to her victory celebration. Oh, I bought her a present. She can keep this as a reminder of Pioneer Week.
I don't think she'll ever forget Pioneer Week. I know I won't.
What's going on? Must be an overload in the neighborhood.
Or even closer.
You look crazy. I'll bet you I could. Oh, sure bet. All right, you got it. I'll start for 1 week next Monday. Okay. Gong ho! Oh, hi, Papa. I'm glad you're home. I want to ask you a question. What period did the caveman live in?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind.